Good evening, colleagues, and thank you for joining the webinar in good time. I can see we are just slightly over 530 in the room. Good evening, and thank you for joining. I can see the greetings on the chat. Trans Nzoia, Nairobi, Nyeri, Mombasa. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining the meeting in good time. Dr. Ibrahim from Wajir, karibuni sana. Karibuni colleagues to this webinar, which is on PMP and CAPM certification for pharmacists, what you need to know, brought to you by the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya and the Kenya Institute of Public Health. My name is Dr. Ivy Ratemo. I serve as the CEO PSK, and I'll be your moderator this evening. Good evening. So today we're going to hear from a panel, and I'll just briefly introduce them, but they'll get time to talk more about themselves. And we are honored to have Dr. Eliud Mwangi, who's the CEO of PMP, who's the CEO of the Kenya Institute of Public Health. He's also a PMP. We have Dr. Linus Masese, who's a PMP. He's a clinical pharmacist at KUTRRH. We are honored to have Dr. Eunice Gathitu, who's also a PMP, who works for pharmaceuticals, who's a senior deputy director for pharmaceutical services, MOH. The department is DHPT, and I'll be your moderator for the day. We also have two more participants from the Kenya Institute of Public Health. I'm just going to mention them and then they'll introduce themselves as we go on. One is Mr. James Kuchio, who's the head of strategic communication at KIPH, and Eric Justin Okumu, who's the training coordinator at KIPH. So colleagues, just a kind reminder, please remember that this webinar is CPD accredited and you have a 7-day window to subscribe and claim your points. When you go to the PPB portal, just search PMP and the event will come up and you can subscribe. Please make sure you've subscribed and claimed by 15th April to be able to get your CPD points. And in case you have any inquiries, please write an email to cpd@psk.or.ke. So I'm going to introduce Dr. Eliud Mwangi, who's an MD, MPH, MBA, PMP, PMOCP, and a certified executive coach. And currently he serves as the CEO of the Kenya Institute of Public Health. He's going to share with us what Kenya Institute of Public Health does and why project management, or why he's passionate about this exact topic. So colleagues, we're going to get a presentation from KIPH, and then we're going to get two presentations from our colleagues, Dr. Eunice and Dr. Linus, and then we will have a Q&A session after that. But in case you have any pressing matter, please feel free to post it on the chat or use your Q&A tab. Thank you so much. Dr. Eliud, karibu. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, very clearly, Dr. Ivy. Maybe you just need to drop your presentation so that I'm able to share.
Okay, karibu, Dr.
And colleagues, very excited to be here. Very excited to share this information about these globally recognized certifications. My name is Dr. Eliud Mwangi. I'm a medical doctor by training, global health expert. I've been on the global health arena for the last 20 plus years in the international development sector. And I'm very, very happy today just to share this, how we are transforming Africa's health leadership, one leader at a time. Allow me to drop my video so that I can maximize my bandwidth as I present this, as I make this presentation. I have titled my presentation as Demystifying PMP and CAPM Project Management Certification. And I'm very, very excited to partner or to work together with the PSK in this agenda. That is a little bit about myself. I have been out here in the global health for more than 20 years. Of note, I want to say that I have been able to oversee successfully 50 plus projects worth over 300 million USD. I served as the country director for an international organization, ECPA, for almost 10 years. I also serve as an Obama Foundation Fellowship coach, executive leadership coach, and I'm currently the president-elect for International Coaching Federation Kenya chapter and the founder and CEO of Kenya Institute of Public Health. We start by a quote here that says that operations keeps the lights on, a strategy provides a light at the end of the tunnel, but it is project management that's the train engine that moves organizations forward. What this is saying is that project management is really where the rubber meets the road. And you are going to see why all of us need this skill and knowledge in our field, whatever we are doing. KIPH was established about 15 years ago. Our strategic pillars are in public health, project management, leadership coaching, and consultancy. We are offering globally accredited certifications in project management, leadership, and also coaching. And our mission is to develop effective world-class value-based health leaders and strengthening institutional capacity in Africa. And in the last 12 months, we have been able to train over 400 professionals in these project management global certifications, and over 90% of them are actually health leaders in public, private, faith-based, and NGO sectors. And today you are going to hear from part of our alumni today who are part of PSK members, Dr. Eunice and also Dr. Linus. And together we are transforming Africa's health leadership one leader at a time. We have been able to reach over 15 countries in the African continent in this training, these global certifications that we are providing. We are globally accredited by PMI. PMI is a project management institute in US. Is the largest body, project management body globally, with over 3 million members and over 1.6 PMP holders also globally. And that is our authorized training partner certification, which we attained in the year 2024. So just a quick one about a project. Anytime you have a project we define it as a temporary endeavor that creates a unique product, service, or a result. It's time limited, it drives change, it enables value creation. So let me bring it closer. Whenever you have a business, that's a project. Whenever your life is the biggest project and the most important project that you'll ever undertake in this world. Therefore, these skills are very, very critical for you even to be able to manage your life, to manage your business, to run an organization. And that's why project management is becoming increasingly very important. Anytime you have a strategic plan and you want to move from the current state to a future state, in between there, you actually achieve that through projects. Whenever you hear that Kenya wants to achieve Vision 2030, in between from where we are to where we want to go, in between here is projects. An organization with three-year strategic plan to move from where you are to where you want to go, this is projects, and therefore project management is quite essential. It moves us from strategic vision actually to execution. It's what helps us really to execute. You hear a lot saying that we have very good strategic plans that are rotting in our shelves. Project management is what will help us to execute and achieve the goals of that strategy. We have many strategic or global goals. Most of us understand the sustainable development goals. We'll never reach these strategic goals unless we have project management skills and knowledge to be able to achieve or execute projects successfully. Therefore, project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements, as I have alluded earlier. The training that we undertake It has 3 domains. We summarize it as a PMI talent triangle. One side of the triangle is the way of working. This is the processes. So whenever you become a PMP, we say that you become structured, you become systematic, you become rhythmical, because there are processes that you need to follow. For example, when you are starting a project, even before you start a project, when you are planning, when you are executing, all those processes are very well aligned. And that one side of the triangle. The other side is the power skills. You need to work with people. We no longer call them the soft skills. They are called power skills because they are very, very important. You need to collaborate. You need to communicate. You need to negotiate, and all these. All this is about leadership, and also we shall train you, or you'll get skills around how do you lead people. And finally is the business acumen. A project does not run in vacuum. You have internal environment in the organization, and externally, maybe the roles of the nation, the regulatory framework, and so on. So you also need to understand the business environment. That also, those are the 3 areas that you are going to learn about. So why is project management profession becoming increasingly essential in today's world? I'll just give a few reasons. There are many, but I just want to give 6 reasons for this. One is the high failure rate for projects. Most of our projects fail. Most of our projects fail. Most of our projects fail. Actually, I would have asked you this, but because of time, and I know we are quite many, let me just preempt by saying that according to a survey or a research that was done by PMI, it returned that the global net project success score is at 36%, meaning that only about 40% or that 6% of projects succeed. And therefore, I mean, when we say there are no resources in this country or wherever, it's not lack of resources, it's lack of skills to execute projects. Because if more than 60% of projects are failing, water waste, and it's across the sectors, right from industrial, going all the way to consulting, which has the highest failure rate. The government follows with about 20% success rate, and so on. So we are saying this is the skills that we need to increase this kind of success so that we're able to achieve our goals. But also, the same research showed that application of these global project management practices increase project success by 2.5 times. Therefore, if you had a success rate of about 40, 2.5 times, it takes you all the way to around 90%, or if it's about 36, it's almost 80, 90%. And that's why we are adopting these global practices, these global certifications, for us to be able to achieve project success. Therefore, if you look at this slide, it clearly shows that without project management practices, when you are just second guessing, you are just like tossing a coin, this is the level. But when you have project management practices, you increase it by 2.5 times the chances of success of your project. But globally, we have about 1.6 million certified project management professionals, and only 33,000 are in Africa. This is less than 3%. In Kenya, we have 1,800. And therefore, these are very, very high demand course and certification, because when you certify, you'll be among these less than 2,000 certified PMP professionals. We keep asking, why is Africa left behind? This is among the reasons. If you only have 3% of us certified or having this PMP, and Africa is where development is happening, and we have about 20% of the population, then that answers you why we are lagging behind in this continent. China experience. China in 2000 said nobody will call a manager without at least a PMP. So when you see Chinese constructing all the roads all over, with a lot of precision, these are PMP or project management certified professionals. Earlier, this certification was more in the build, in the construction, in the IT. But KIPH is committed and has really done quite a lot in the last 1 year to bringing this certification closer to us in the health sector. Actually, our aim and goal is to make PMP a household name in the health sector. And I can assure you we have somehow succeeded because over 350 medics have taken this course for about in the last 12 months. Earlier, it was very hard to see a PMP in the health sector. And I know in the next 1, 2, 3 years, we will be very many of us, including the almost 1,000 that I'm seeing here, having this certification. Also, we have a very big gap. There's a global project management talent gap of about 20 million globally, and the sub-Saharan Africa of about 2 million. So when we say there's no job, kindly, there are areas here that you can get certified and increases your, your competence and your cutting edge advantage. This is the PMP, the top PMP holders countries globally. And you can see China heads, or is the first one, leads the way. And it's because of that policy direction where they said you can't be called a manager before you have the PMP. And I know we are getting there soon. And we have all the countries all the way to Singapore, number 10. What about African countries? African countries is where we are. As Kenya, we are number 5, but clearly nothing much to write home about 1,800. But we are working very hard. I am very, very sure we are going to contribute about 400 by the end of this year. And you can imagine this number will keep increasing. So we should be getting there soon. Then PMP certification is the gold standard project management certification that is recognized globally. These are global certification. They make you a global expert. And therefore, you are not constrained to the Kenya here. When you are a PMP, everybody across the Atlantic or wherever, they know what that means. And therefore, it opens doors to other opportunities. We are going to study this a little bit more. So let me go to the next reason. More and more employers are now realizing for us to have to succeed, we need certified managers. And therefore, we are seeing more and more organizations asking for these specific certifications. Actually, there are quite many in our world. We keep sharing this because now we are getting more and more organizations. And we are also becoming very aggressive because we are partnering with organizations like PSK. We have partnered with KMA. We have partnered with the Kenya Health Federation. Last year, we had a conference, our inaugural conference, where the DG, the Director General of Health, was the chief guest. And therefore, we are saying this is the way. You need to have these skills for you to have a successful projects. This is another one that came another time, asking even for CAPM and also PMP. Number 5, access to PM tools and techniques. When you have this certification or these skills, it's also able to open to you a lot of tools that you can use to make your work, to make yourself more effective and efficient. I can assure you when you are reading projects or when you are running organizations, without this skill set, is like a mechanic trying to fix a car without a toolbox, without a spanner. They are with their own bare hands. Well, there are so many tools. Now we have AI tools. Like in PMI, we have PMI Infinity. This is an AI tool for project management. You just get in there, you put whatever you need, and it gives you a lot of insights. These are many tools that are at your disposal when you become this PMP or you get these certifications. And then you learn about agile project management approach. We are no longer talking about the traditional way. We are in the VUCA world. VUCA is for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world that is ever changing. Actually, we have moved to what we are now calling the bunny world. The bunny world, the bunny means is brittle, is anxious, is non-linear, is incomprehensible. Therefore, if you don't know how to manage projects in today's world, you will just break down because we are no longer using the predictive way. You can see the way it has reduced. The predictive methodology over the last of 3-4 years And now we are having the hybrid, where we are combining the agile way. The agile way is that flexible way. It's like you become like liquid. If you are put in a certain container, you can fit in. You are malleable. That's what we need in today's world. Otherwise, if you are rigid, you are not going to survive in this current one. And if you have seen so many changes, and therefore, when you do this course, 50% of the time, we are talking about your agile mindset. How do you have an agile mindset as you run projects, as you run organizations, and so on? Therefore, allow me now to just go a little bit deeper in these two certifications that are globally accredited. The first one is PMP, that's a project management professional. Is a gold standard. It validates your ability to lead projects that are complex, that are multiple, with high certainty of success. This certification, you need to have experience leading and managing projects of at least 3 years. So for you to jump or to apply or to do this certification, you need management experience. So you need at least a bachelor's, a management experience of at least 3 years, and then you go through 35 hours of training. And that's now what we have been accredited to do by PMI. Instead of the 35 hours, as we give you 45 hours, and I are going to see the reason why we do that. This is the lessons that you go through. You start with business environment, starting the project, plan the project, lead the team. Leading the team is execution, support project team performance, and then you close the project. The exam you are going to do will take about 4 hours, 230 minutes. It actually has 180 scenario questions, scenario-based questions. So they are bringing a project and they are bringing the issue there, then they ask you as a project manager, what would you do? So it's like running 180, is like actually solving 180 project management problems. And you get about 10 minutes break, but this should not bother you. That's why we are here to support you. It has been shown that people with PMP earn that 3% more. And as I've said, over about 1.6 million people globally, majority in China, US, and Canada, but we are also coming in very, very strongly. Certified Associate in Project Management is the beginning point. It gives you the foundational knowledge and skills to manage projects. For us here, you can do this if you are towards the end of your university, although I know it is very tight in the university when you are doing your degree. But if you have a bandwidth, you can be able to start off and do this. But ideally, when you are done, the pre-interns, the interns, the young pharmacist network, that team, or a young or a professional who has been out here, but they have not managed projects. This is where you begin. And it has, finally, you'll do about 23 hours. We give you 30 hours. And then the exam is 3 hours and 150 questions. And you should be able to ace the exam. And this is exactly the content, the course content that you cover. It's basically fundamental, but it's also quite detailed, so you are able to understand how projects are managed. Here, you don't need any experience. You just need to have a post-secondary, a certificate or qualification, and then you can come in and we support you to achieve the same. So the CAPM certification is an essential step in building a career as a project management or a project manager or a practitioner. And once certified, you can immediately jump in and do a PMP. So if you do the CAPM certification, you are waived off the 3-year experience. Therefore, you can immediately start off your PMP. After you are done with the initial hours, the prerequisite hours, we actually add a number of, another 15 or so hours for what we call the acing PMP or CAPM exam coaching program. And this is because this exam is not easy. It's quite tricky. And therefore, we have very many people. Maybe here you might be knowing quite a number of our colleagues out there. They did the coursework. They have not mastered the confidence to do the exam. Or they did the exam, they did not make it. Maybe they gave up. we now have a program that immediately after you do your coursework, we take you through another 15 hours where we revise the questions, we look at the concepts, and this has helped us to maintain over 95% exam success rate against about 70%. Only 7 out of 10 people ace this exam, if we have that data, but for us, we're at over 95%, and therefore, you are in the right hands. We offer this training virtually, either over weekdays between 6:30 and 9 p.m., Monday through Thursday, because people told us Friday, leave it for us. And therefore, we do 4 days in a week. And therefore, it goes for 5 weeks to cover that material, almost 50 hours, but call it 48 hours. And then the weekend, 9 to 1 p.m. for those who are completely not available during the week. It goes for 12 weeks. And then we now have an in-person, we call it a boot camp this month on 20th to 25th of April, where we shall lock ourselves for 6 days at Pride Inn Ashua in Westlands. And by the time you come out of there on Saturday, you will have already gotten the initial 35, or call it for us is 45 hours. And then now you'll have a few hours to do the revision. And within a month, you should be able to do this exam. Our next intake is next Monday, so you have an opportunity for the regular one, which is 6:30 to 9 p.m. Next Monday. So by this Friday, you need to have registered and paid so that you're able to start together on 13th of April. This is the tuition fee. Kindly pay attention. The tuition is 35 for CAPM and 50 for PMP. Being a global certification, all the rest of the costs are associated with PMI. And we are transparent, we are honest, so we like putting everything like black and white, so that as you get in, you know exactly what you are getting into. But the good thing, you don't have to pay all this amount at the beginning. You just need to start off, and then you will pay some of this money when you are ready to sit for the exam. And therefore, you don't need to kill yourself that, oh, I need to do everything at the same time. It's a matter of being agile, where you say, I'm starting, and then I will add on as we continue. But the tuition fee, that's amount, and 50,000, the rest is PMI associated. You need course materials here from PMI. You need to be a member of PMI even to sit for exam and access some reference materials. You need study hall to access the mock exams and so on. You need the PMP exam fee or CAPM exam fee. And finally, that's the total. But as I've told you, you just need to start off, and then the rest you can pay down the road. And we allow even payment of the tuition fees in installment if you are not able to pay it at once. Towards my ending, the post-certification support that we offer, just like in your profession, because I am part of the medical profession, we have the CPDs. Here we have what we call PDUs, professional development units. We renew these certificates, are renewed every 3 years, and you need 60 PDUs. So you need 20 PDUs every year. And therefore, we support you with this, like this webinar has a 1 PDU for those who are PMI members, and therefore we are able to provide and support you with that. You also join a wide community, the PMI, over 3 million community. You become part of that community. KIPH, we have an alumni, and therefore where we do networking, we have our quarterly alumni meetings, we have our annual conference that you are part of. And then we have an in-house coaching and mentorship program where our younger professionals are able to get mentorship from the senior professionals, specifically for project management and leadership. And then definitely you participated in our annual project management conference. We had our inaugural. There's no other project management conference for health and NGO sector that has ever been held in this continent. And we held the first one last year, and this will be an annual event. This year's is on 26th and 27th of November, where we shall also have the graduation for all those who will graduate this year. Therefore, start your journey today. It is said it always seems impossible until you take the first step. It looks very high, but when you start off, the rest follows. We have a number of partners And you can see conspicuously, PSK is right here. And I'm very appreciative to Madam President, Madam CEO here, Dr. Ivy, and the entire team and all of us, because we really need to hold our hands to advance this project management profession for health and NGO sectors, and specifically here for us as pharmacists. Thank you so much. God bless you. Back to you, Dr. Ivy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mwangi, for that amazing presentation. I think we are a bit more clearer now on what KIPH does and what a PMP is and a CAPM is. So, colleagues, at this juncture, allow me to welcome Dr. Linus Masese. He's one of us. He's a member of PSK. Dr. Masese is a clinical pharmacist who works at the Kenya University Teaching and Referral Hospital. And he'll share with us what his journey was when he did PMP and how it has affected or bettered his life and his career. Karibu sana daktari. If you can hear me, just unmute your mic. I can see you. Thank you, Doc.
Right. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, and really appreciate this forum. I hope you can hear me. Just wanting to confirm that.
Yes, Doc, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I want to take this chance to appreciate the team that has gone before me. Thank you, Dr. Elwin, together with the team from KIPH, whom now we are members, or we can say we are alumni of the same, where we trained for this course, the PMP course. So why I chose to do PMP, maybe I can just start from that. It has been my desire. I've been a lifelong learner. And I think as pharmacy, in fact, our society encourages that we are all lifelong learners. We try to better our skills, try to better our leadership skills, management skills, and even now in this case, the project management arena. Also, secondly, I have been involved in a number of projects. I think all of us who have been, especially in the hospital setup where I've practiced, close to almost 15 years or plus. It's where we've experienced and also been involved in a number of projects. We've been involved in can come HIV/AIDS projects, malaria. Currently, I'm also involved in research projects in our hospital, in the Research and Ethics Committee, and also other projects that we are running, side by side in various capacities. So it has always been my desire to just have, that knowledge. And it came to mind that when I saw the advert for this PMP training, I was able to just apply. And initially, actually, I didn't think I would qualify for the 3 years plus experience, but actually I realized what we had done, even informally, still was able to account to that experience. So I think maybe for those of us who are doubting, we've actually gone through this. Some of us may just be doing things which are projects, but not knowing they're actually projects. That can still account towards the same. So I was able to enroll for this course last year in July. I was among the fifth cohort. As Dr. Eliud said, been a number of cohorts beginning from last year. So I was among the fifth cohort, and I undertook the minimum of 35 hours as had been outlined up to end of August. And as Dr. Eliud mentioned, now the aspect of also preparing for exam is also another process. And to ease that, there is a coaching program. And remember, coaching is not about telling you what to do. It is about helping you achieve your objective. So I enrolled for this program just after we finish. It was always encouraged that immediately we finish the course, you enroll for the program. And thereafter, going through the program, it was also another almost 4 or 5 weeks, basically getting ready for the exam and trying to understand the mindset. As Dr. Eliud mentioned, you tend to realize that it's more about understanding, project management and the mindset, having that mindset. And I guess it really takes a lot of time to, when you look at a question, you think the answer is obvious, but there's a mindset that the approach is different when you have the skills and the knowledge about how to do project management in a professional way. So you would actually go through, most of the questions are case-based. And I think for all of us who are in the pharmacy field, and especially in the clinical setup, we are so used to cases. Yeah, where you're given a case scenario, and the issue is you have to think through from the principles that you've learned, what would be the best option. Yeah, of course, the questions are multiple choice, but very, very, the answers look almost like similar, almost reminds us of what we used to do in undergrad. Yeah, but nevertheless, it was an exciting experience for me. I was able to go through the program. Of course, and the big challenge usually comes towards the end, where you have to pick a date when you're doing exams, so that now it becomes even more focused. Even after the acing program, it's called the acing PMP exam coaching program, you still have, you need your personal time for study and preparation. So once you have a date set, it becomes easier. So my initial date, I wanted to do it in early December, but I think also because of work activities, understanding also we are adult learners, we have so much competing tasks. I ended up picking an early date in January. So it ended up being that my Christmas break was basically for studying. But I don't regret it, because I went through most of the questions. There is quite a lot of material, including the practice examinations, because again, to understand that the whole idea is to help you think, while you're walking, literally, meaning that you have to think fast, because the exam is a speed exam. You have to really think about, plan your time, and know that you actually have to do the examination within the required duration of time. Literally, each question is a minute, because if you divide 230 minutes for 180 questions, it becomes about 1 minute 15 seconds per question. So literally, you just have to think fast, and they are case-based examination. So you might need reading the case, understanding, coming up with your answer as fast. Some are more than one answer is correct. Some is only one that is correct. Others are matching questions. So it was a whole experience. But I remember doing the practices, and as I was approaching the exam, I was able to at least be confident I would, get above 70%. At least you are aiming towards 80% and above, so that you're sure that you are comfortable now with the examinations. So I was able to do the exam in January. I did it in the usually examination center, because these are online exams. So there are a number that you'll be directed towards, but there are a number which are available in the country. And yeah, thank God that we're able to make it. And here we are now with the PMP certification. Now, with this certification, of course, it has, it has opened my mind about the world of project management, understanding the whole, even the language, because understanding the whole aspects of the things that you do on a daily basis, how can you do it in a projectized manner, meaning that you're trying to accomplish it within a period of time and with the resources that have been given. As I mentioned earlier, I'm involved right now in mostly research projects in our institutions. Also, we have partnering universities from abroad, where we're doing certain projects together. So it has kind of like now put my focus much better in terms of how to manage this. And still, it's a work in progress as I continue growing and through the mentorship of Dr. Eliud and also Dr. Eunice, who was able to also guide me as I was getting into this, this course. I believe, the sky is the limit. We can go higher and higher with this certification. So my message to the team is, let's go for this. It is fulfilling. The leadership skills you learn. Initially, that was my thought. It would only be leadership, but actually, you realize there's much more. Leadership, how to work the agile mindset, agility in terms of what we do. We no longer follow we call it the waterfall. We don't follow the usual way of doing projects from start to end, but actually the agile way of doing it and adapting to changes as you go along. We've seen so much things happening in terms of funding in healthcare, and it means that you have to be agile in terms of your thought in what you do and how you are able to accomplish certain projects within the time that is given. So I think that's my experience in brief. I wouldn't take much time. Let me hand it back to you, Dr. Ratten. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Linus. I think that was very inspiring and enlightening. And I'm happy to hear that you were mentored or supported by Dr. Eunice Gathitu. So just going to call on Dr. Eunice Gathitu next to share what her experience was like. Dr. Eunice Gathitu is a Senior Deputy Director in the pharmaceutical sector, and she works for the Ministry of Health Kenya. So, Doctor, if you can hear me, you can just unmute yourself and share your experience with us. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Dr. Eliud and Dr. Linus. Good evening, members. It's good to be here to share my experience as well. So I was in the cohort 1 of the PMP cohorts. Our classes began in February last year. So why I chose to pursue PMP, I was looking for a job at some point, and my career coach asked me whether I know about PMP. She shared a flyer that KIPH was to start supporting students to achieve the certification. So from the flyer, I noticed Dr. Eliud, we were classmates in medical school. So I called him and just to get a feel of what the course is, whether it's worth pursuing. And I remember after talking to him, I was bought. And I decided to pursue this as part of my building my skills, my knowledge, and my career. So I enrolled. We started classes in February. For me, I was in the weekend classes because the weekdays would have been too hectic. So we did about 12 weeks, 4-hour classes on Saturday. And it was good. We were a small class, very few of us. And I remember the weekday class that we had started with graduated soon after starting. And we felt like we had been left behind. But we proceeded, we continued with our classes, and we were able to complete our content in about 3 months. So initially my plan was to sit for the exam in May. It's good to sit for the exam not long after you finish so that you can still remember the content and things are still fresh. And we got a lot of support from KIPH for the async classes. So the async classes used to be on weekdays and we were able to join, participate. The classes are very interactive, so it's engaging. Basically, for the facilitator to know how the students are doing, if there are questions being asked, they're addressed. If a facilitator feels a certain topic needs to be addressed in the next class, that was taken up. And there are topics that were a bit challenging, but we were able to cover the content in good time and in a very well structured way, which was very good. The classes were all virtual, of course, as Dr. Eliud has mentioned, but the engagement was it's good. Let me say that. It's not the usual classes that we are used to in pharmacy school. So this is a different, you'll get a different feel, and it would be such a good add-on for us as pharmacists, just to encourage you to pursue it. So I did the exam in July. It was early July. I was able to take some time off work to read the notes, listen to the recordings. I managed to attend all the async classes, read a bit of the PMBOK guide. So I felt I was ready and answered a lot of questions. There were many questions that the faculty had shared with us, so we were able to practice. We had a discussion group. Our Saturday class ended up being our discussion group because we had already gelled and we were able to proceed with revision. If there are areas that we felt were weak, we were going back to our notes and reviewing even as we were answering questions. So I sat in July, but I didn't manage to finish all my questions. As Dr. Linus has mentioned, time is of the essence. The content, the questions are a lot of application questions. So this is different from our pharmacy school experience, at least by the time I was doing pharmacy school. So it's not about cramming, it's about understanding the concept. And the questions come in such a way that the answer it's not direct, but you need to understand the concept to be able to choose the right answer. So speed is of the essence, and not to scare you. There are many who ace the exam the first time. So for me, I was not able to answer 30 questions. So I was already in the red. I ran out of time and I was not able to get to the end of the questions. So even as you start, even as you revise, remember about time management. You should spend at least, actually, I think it's 1.2 minutes per question. If you find a question is difficult, either flag it to review it at the end of the set of 60, or you answer and move on so that you get to the end to make sure you increase your chances of acing the exam. So that's my experience. And then I resat the exam in November from July. So I was able to, again, read the notes. There's always something new you'll see when you read the content again. I was able to go through the recordings for some of the questions. I was able to join other acing classes. Sometimes you feel guilty for being a chronic student, but there's no end to learning, and it's good to encourage yourself. I answered many more questions this time, more than the previous time. And remember, from my previous experience, I was better prepared this second time. I was able to get into the study hall. It's a support feature as part of PMI that you're able to answer questions and time yourself. So I was very keen to ensure that the mock exams I sat, I was finishing before the 2:30 minutes. So it helps you time yourself for the real exam. Then eventually I did my second receipt in early November. The first exam, I did it online, so I was at home. But things can go wrong. Power can go, internet can disappear. So I opted to do the exam, the second sitting in an exam center in JKU Towers in town. There was another center that we had also been recommended for in Westlands. So I opted to do it in town, and once you show up at the center, of course, you go a few days before just to acclimatize with the environment, find out what is required of you. They log you in and you start the exam, and it's seamless. There are no risks of power outage or internet. And I was able to finish my exam. This time I was very conscious, and I had timed for every set of 60 questions, I needed to do them in about 70 minutes. And I made sure that I stuck to that so that I don't run out of time. I was able to get to the end. Sometimes you even have to guess so that you move on to the next answer, the next question. So that is important. In terms of application, I work in the Ministry of Health, so I'm at policy level. There's some projects that I have been involved in the past. But as Dr. Eliud mentioned, I think even when I was enrolling for the course, my thought process of what a project is you think of something like, a construction or something tangible that you see. But as Linus also mentioned, there are so many things we do that can fall under the aspect of a project. Because a project has a beginning and an end, it has a scope, it has a budget. So there are so many things that you can relate with depending on where you work. So it's not just for those in a non-clinical setup. Any setup that someone is working in, you can translate something into a project. So there are many concepts that you learn in this course that you take with you, even as you execute your work. A lot of mention of agile, whereby you don't do things in, like a structured way, like a linear way. There is a lot of back and forth, what you call iterations. So if you see something is not working, then you go back and review and see how can we do it better? How can we do it more efficient, more effectively? Aspects of looking at project benefits and value. Before you embark on a task, you look at the value. What value will this task achieve at the end of it? Is it aligned to my organizational goals? Like me at national level, I work at the Directorate of Health Products. So as a directorate, we have to be aligned to what the health sector policy is. So we draw our strategies and our policies from the broader health sector. And then we also align even with other government initiatives. We align with other directions, even from other quarters that could be global, that the country ascribes to. So you're able to look at value and benefits. You look at issues of governance. Governance is something that will apply even in your house. You need to have structure. How do we undertake a task? Who is involved? How long do we have? What are the resources we have? Issues of identifying and engaging stakeholders. For us, as we do policies, we don't have all the expertise at MOH. So we need to see who are our key stakeholders for certain document, for certain policy. How do we engage them? For how long will we engage, and what is the roadmap? There are a lot of concepts from this course that are applicable. Issues of planning the project, aspects of scope. You need to know for any project, what is the scope, so that you know when you're out of line, when you need to get back and review and see that you've gone beyond the scope. Issues of scheduling, risks, quality. The applications are endless, and my encouragement to those who've attended this forum is that this is a good course. Remember, we need to keep building our skills and be versatile. I know pharmacists are very versatile in terms of what we are able to do, even when you compare with other cadres. So it's good to have this extra knowledge. And as I've said, these concepts are applicable in so many facets. Don't limit yourself by where you work, even your years of experience. Many of us on the call could have experience between 0 and 30, 40 years. But the difference between me, who has more than 20 years, and someone who graduated in 2020 is just time and a lot of, in terms of exposure, experience. So I encourage people to sign up. KIPH is very supportive. For me, I've also joined the faculty, so I'm excited that I'll also be teaching people and sharing my experience and knowledge, so that we build, as Dr. Eliud keeps saying, one leader at a time. And for pharmacists, as I have said, I think our training makes us to be very versatile. We can fit in so many spaces and so many areas. And this would be a good add-on to your CV, to your work experience. And there are many jobs these days that are asking for this certification. So I encourage you to sign up. We'll walk the journey with you. We are there as alumni to support. We were supported, and we are also hoping to support those who'd be interested to pursue this. And we are together. just to encourage you and thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you, Ivy. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eunice. Thank you so much for the encouragement and the good review of the project and how your experience was. I'm encouraged by the fact that you can take some time and prepare more for you to feel like you're in a good place to do the exam. I'm encouraged by, there are a few keywords I've had. I've had networking, I've had mentorship, I've had career coach, I've had so much. And the fact that you and Dr. Linus are in such diverse spaces really encourages those of us who have not yet gone into this project to do so. So colleagues, I will just borrow 5 minutes of your time where we'll have a short Q&A session. But before I go into that, I'm pleased to confirm that we have our president here with us, Dr. Irimo Mbogo. We signed an MOU with the Kenya Institute of Public Health about a week or 2 weeks ago. And therefore, I'm going to invite Madam President to just quickly say hi and a few words before we have our Q&A and close the webinar for today. Madam President, if you can hear me.
Yes, so good evening, everyone. Thank you to the team. Thank you to the Kenya Institute of Public Health for this opportunity. I think for me, I was invited for their graduation last year, or their conference. It was actually the conference, and I was in a panel. And what encouraged me is the fact that I saw, number one, so many pharmacists doing this course. Secondly, I could see the excitement and also the value that the course was adding. And also, the other thing is that I did my research, I did my homework, and I also looked around, even globally, what it costs and how to become a PMP. Actually, most of the time, the costs are much higher than what you're seeing for a globally accredited course. Secondly, is that the support. Many institutions don't offer the level of support that I could hear, that you've had, Dr. Gadito and Dr. Linus talking about. These are also my seniors, the people who you look up to. These are people who, when things are very tough, even from a policy perspective, you call them and they help you navigate, and even they give you a bit of advice. So I felt it's important to have a conversation with Dr. Eliud, who is like the mastermind in healthcare behind project management. And here we are now discussing, having an MOU, giving discounts to members, and even having an opportunity for members to do this course. Sometimes, when you start something, we don't usually know how long it lasts. So for those who have been looking into, just making sure that project management is part of what they would want to add into their portfolio, I know this is something that many people are asking for today, because the environment that we are in demands some level of structure, demands some level of order. Everything is going on too fast. People are against all talk and no action. So this, I believe, personally, I've not done the course, but having done my research, I think I believe this is a good thing that KSK is bringing to you as members. And if you can, please take advantage and join the course. I think we'd rather overwhelm the team with with numbers and not have, and then they figure out how to deal with the faculty aspects. But I know they are ready. All I can say to the team is thank you for presenting this to us, and thank you, members, for joining in large numbers. And we hope that, we shall have more people joining the project management course. And it's a very key component to leadership and a good addition to the validation from a project management perspective. Dr. Ivy, thank you for moderating. And yeah, we can continue with the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam President. We appreciate your support and your vision. And from the chats online and the questions coming up, I think our members are very happy with this CME and this collaboration. So colleagues, I'm just going to borrow 5 minutes of your time where we'll do a quick Q&A session for some questions that have been repeated here. And I'm going to call upon Dr. Eliud, Eric, and James, if you are still with us, I will just ask these questions and you can answer them live so that we are able to move and wrap this up. So question number 1, I will direct this to Dr. Eliud. For young pharmacists, can they start the PMP without a CAPM, without doing the CAPM process? And then I'm going to ask James, great presentations. Are the examination sites only based in Nairobi? I think this is a member of ours who's outside of Nairobi. Then the third question, I'm also going to ask Eric to just post the link to KIPH on the forum, because the question is, during the presentation, the school fees was projected. Is that the discounted price for the PSK members? Dr. Eliud, we can begin.
Yeah, thanks. To start with, the CAPM, as you have noted, is for those who have not managed projects, and therefore in the application process, they are very thorough. It's an international certification, and also it's very, very important to ensure that you do the course that you need to you qualify for. Because even during the training, the PMP has that at the back of the mind. The people doing PMP are those ones who have already done projects. So even as you talk, as you discuss, they should be coming out with their experiences and so on. And therefore, it will not be possible for young professionals to do PMP. But the good thing is that once you do the CAPM, then you can be able immediately to do the PMP. So I would just urge to, as somebody said, it's just a matter of time. The good thing you are getting this early, as you can imagine, some of us did it much later. So last year, actually, we trained quite a number of pre-interns, about 30, even before they went to internship. And it was very, very interesting because they were very, very happy that, oh, we are getting to internship even before, get with this management skills. So you can't do, if you don't qualify, you cannot do the PMP. You need to start with the CAPM and then progress on to the PMP. Maybe I can take another one, Dr. Ivy, just for time. The centers, we have 3 in Nairobi and 1 in Eldoret. Those are the only ones in the country. Therefore, I think those are the ones. So we can work closely. If there is somebody who wants to do it outside, we can see how that works. But currently we have 3 in Nairobi, 1 in Eldoret. I know with the time, they are actually predetermined by PMI and the Pearson View group, who are actually the providers of this online certification or online exams. So we don't have it in all the counties or in many places. That's the places that they currently have. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Eliud. The next question I think can be answered either by you or by Eric, who's the head of training. Dr. Mary says, suppose I did a project management in global health, leadership and management, policy and advocacy with the University of Washington. Is there any exemption if I want to enroll? Thanks.
An interesting one there. Let me help my colleague. The PMI way, definitely there are some areas that you will, it's the same project management. There's a PMI way and a PMI mindset. Actually, when training people who have had PhD, and they have found it very, very useful because clearly it's a professional certification. A number of other certifications are more academic or academic. Therefore, you will not have exemption unless University of Washington has a collaboration or has an arrangement with the PMI. Otherwise, you will just need to go through the same, the same materials. And as I've said, there's a lot of value because this is a professional certification, a lot of experience, a lot of expertise, and therefore there's a lot of value, even if you have done project management before, because most of our project managements are actually academic, and this is a professional certification. Over.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. I have seen a question on whether those who are not available for the physical classes, can they attend? Okay, yes, that has been answered. The classes can be done virtually. There are two more questions on whether the acing exam program is inclusive in the course fee or is it a separate expense? And the other one is on how long is the period ya kulipa pole pole for those of us who are interested but have a tight budget.
Yeah, acing is included in that fee. Like 50,000 fee is a 60 hours that we give you, 45 for the coursework and 15 for the acing program. So it is already included. In terms of payment, we allow 2 installments. At least you pay 50% plus the course materials you begin, and then the other one you pay as you continue before the course ends, and then the rest will follow because the exam you do it when you are ready. And somebody had asked whether this is the PSK fees. This is a general. We have some discount for PSK members. I know that will be shared in a poster. That will be shared. This is the general for everyone. So the PSK members have some discount. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eliud. And the last question is, when are the next cohorts after April 13th and how can we reach out?
Yeah, we have monthly cohorts. The next is 13th. Therefore, the other one will come early May and we continue. The most important thing is that there's an exam change in July. And you know, always transition have challenges. So we really want as many people to take up this in this cohort so that they're able to finish before the exam change in July. Otherwise, we have cohorts every month. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Eliud. I'm going to request that there are a few links that Eric has been sharing on the chat box. It's a link to the application form and also to the KIPH website, where you can get more information on any matters that have been asked here so far. We are currently 9 minutes past our allocated webinar time. So I'll just quickly close out on this. There are a few posters that will be shared on the members forums. As Dr. Eliud has said, there are discounted rates for PSK members. Please make sure to have a look. And in case you have any question or you need further clarification, please reach out to the PSK offices or the contacts highlighted below the posters. Upcoming events, we have a webinar tomorrow on HIV and aging, which will be done by Dr. Nancy, who's visiting the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. Kindly be sure to attend and subscribe to get your CPD points. We also have another upcoming webinar on the management of cryptococcal meningitis by the Mount Kenya East branch, which will also be tomorrow. Please be sure to subscribe and attend in good time. For any inquiries, email mountkenyaeast@psk.or.ke. We are also going to be present at the Kenya Pharma and Healthcare Expo, International Expo 2026 at Sarit from 9th to the 11th of April. Please feel free to come, meet us at our booth and engage with us. We also have another Med Expo coming up on the 22nd to 24th of April, still at the Sarit Expo Center. Please feel free to come and engage with us. Our major upcoming event, the 46th PSK Annual Scientific Conference, is coming up between the 24th to 26th of June. The venue will be Pride in Paradise Hotel, Mombasa. And the theme this year is Pharmacists Leading Transformation and Innovation Towards the Highest Attainable Standards of Health. We are happy to meet you there, and please scan the QR code that has been displayed for you to register, or visit your PSK portal and then go under events and then click on view and register, and then you can choose between your individual or multiple tickets. Then you enter your registration number and you'll be done with the registration process. Last but not least, colleagues, please remember that the early bird tickets are now done and we are in the regular phase of tickets, which will run between the 1st of April to the 30th of April. Kindly scan the code to register or go to your portal, and under the events, you'll be able to get details on the conference. Last but not least, the call for abstracts is still open. You can access it on the PSK members portal or on our PSK website. And finally, a final reminder for the CPD points. Please remember we have a 7-day window for subscription and claiming. So immediately you leave this webinar, please go to your PPB portal and subscribe to the event so that we can have enough subscriptions and we are able to send the tokens to you in good time. These are our social media handles. Please feel free to engage with us, connect with us. The recording from this webinar will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. And in case there's anything you missed or anything you want to revisit, please feel free to look through our channel and engage with us. I have been your moderator for the night. My name is Dr. Ibira Temo. I serve as the CEO of Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya. And all I can say is asanteni sana from PSK and KIPH, and the best of the regards from our National Executive Committee and our National Governing Council. Thank you, Eric, for the link. In case anybody needs to get that link, please have a look at it before we close the webinar. Thank you.